Hello. Let's have a chat about shadow work and what shadow work is. All right, because I know it's all over, it's buzzword at the moment. Shadow work, shadow work, shadow work, and a lot of people. I know there's a lot of there's a divide in the spiritual community at the moment, and sort of stuff going on. I think there's a lot of the veil's getting thinner and timelines are shifting. So people can't. Yeah, you got to be accountable for your shit. You got to sit in your shadow to heal and to move forward. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because I've had a couple of conversations. It's been brought up in conversation lately, and I've been doing a course too around shadow work too. So working on my own shadows as well, and then implementing new tools into my healing work to help other people as well. So I was having a conversation with a loved one last night, and someone's given them a compliment at work, and it's made them feel uncomfortable. It felt weird for them, and it made them feel uncomfortable. That's a shadow, okay? That right there is where shadow work needs to begin, because that feeling, that weird feeling, that feeling of uncomfortable is something, is a way you've been made to feel a certain way when someone's given you a compliment. Like I know a little bit about this person's childhood and stuff, and I know their childhood wasn't the greatest, so straight away I thought and felt to myself that there's feelings of not feeling worthy of compliments, and probably maybe even possibly a fear around being seen as well. So I'm not too sure, because the conversation didn't continue, but it was just what I felt about that person in that moment, that that could be why they feel weird about being seen. But I said to this person, I said, well, how about you feel into that feeling of feeling weird, and then you'll probably get a deeper and more clarity around where that feeling is coming from. So yeah, I'm not too sure if they did or if they didn't. That's completely up to them to do that. I'm not here to push anything on anyone, but at the same time we have to remember that that's what shadow work is. It's those feelings, because our brains, we lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves stories. We'll tell ourselves, yes, I do like being complimented, but at the same time your body will feel something completely different about that. I was having another conversation, and as funnily enough, both these people are men, so this could be something that's going on collectively in the mass consciousness of the masculinity. If any other men are feeling these things have been happening for them lately, maybe drop a comment. We can have an open conversation about it, because there's no shame in your feelings and stuff that's coming up. We all have emotions, we all have shadows, we all have feelings of shame, we all have feelings of anger, we all have feelings of resentment. There's no on and off switch for this shit. And if we haven't allowed ourselves to process those emotions when they've been present, we're still holding on to them. Our body doesn't forget, okay? So for example, as a child, if you've fallen over and hurt yourself, and mum or dad's turned around and said, oh, brush it off, you'll be right, you could have taken on the belief that I'm not, when I hurt myself, I have to brush it off. I'm not allowed to express my emotions. So straight away, there's a suppression going on there as a child. That this is small child not understanding, what the parent was really meaning, and then the parent not being aware and understanding the impact that they're having on the small child in that moment. No one's to blame, no one's at fault, it just happens. That child's then taken on the belief that, they have to suppress their feelings when they hurt themselves or if they get hurt. And then we go on to take on that belief as an adult, and that's where people pleasing comes in, fawning. But anyway, back to the feelings and the shadow works. Emotion stands for motion, energy in motion. If we don't allow our emotions to flow when we are in the present moment. We're having these emotions, we will suppress them, especially if they feel uncomfortable. We don't like the feeling. You know, some people don't like being angry because they feel like they're out of control. So if that's you, go into ask yourself, why do I feel like I'm out of control when I'm angry? You know, we need to really drop it into our bodies and ask ourselves how we feel, because what we think is always completely different to how our body feels unless we've done the work around that already. So yeah, there's some food for thought. And also yeah, the other person I was speaking to the other week, they're doing a course around mental health at the moment, and they're just like, I can't do this, you know, this is triggering me, like this is extremely triggering. And I didn't say anything, but like I just thought to myself straight away, well, you're being triggered for a reason, because there's shadow work, there's shit coming up there that needs to be healed, and you're never going to shift or heal until you honor that shit that's triggering you, and you go into those triggers and into those yuck feelings, you know. And if you've done shit things in life and you're holding guilt and shame around it, well, it's going to continue to manifest into your reality and into your life, into your relationships. And, you know, it's just a spiral. It's never going to stop. It's never going to stop until you allow yourself to go into those fucking shit feelings. We all have them. I had a good one the other day. You know, I had a belief and a feeling where I didn't feel safe in my body, and to the point where I've disrespected myself and given myself away to people that, you know, don't deserve me. And I've just, because I've never felt safe in my body. And a lot of women that have been through sexual abuse will probably have this belief, because when I went back into that, that's where it came from. So that's another one to think about as well, especially as a woman, or even men. You know, sexual abuse is not just everyone, well, not everyone, but, you know, it's targeted at everyone. There's no it's not gender specific, I guess that's what you could say. You know, that's the right way to say it. It's wrong and it's not right. But, you know, a lot of, if you have had sexual assault, there may be some sort of feeling there in your body that you're holding on to, that you don't feel safe in your body. And also, it all comes down to feeling safe. It all comes down to safety and our nervous system, and healing our nervous system, and allowing ourselves to feel the emotions, embodying the emotions. We have to feel them to heal them and to be able to shift through them. Otherwise, the healing never happens.